A lot of e-commerce store owners fail not because of the wrong ads, not because their website is bad or they have bad products, but they simply act too slow. Slow testing, long feedback loops, slow decision making. This absolutely kills a business. Meanwhile, the brands that move fast, they test quickly, they implement it right after. Those are the winners. So this ability to move quickly and intentionally is called velocity. And if you don't apply this to your e-commerce store, then you're always going to be outrun by your competitors that do have this. So I'll completely break this down for you. So if you don't know who I am yet, I'm Lars. I built my own e-com store to around $9 million in sales, and now I'm helping clients to do the same thing. So if it takes you 2 weeks to launch a new ad creative, or it takes you 1.5 months to build out a new product page and to launch this new test with this new page, you're taking way too much time for things. If me and my business partner have an idea and we want to implement it, we typically implement this the same day. And it's not a joke. If we have a new business idea, a completely new concept, let's say we need a video to get edited, it might take a few days, but if we can do all the work ourselves, we just hop on a Google Meet right away and we get it done. So especially in e-commerce where you need to test out a lot of different things, short feedback loops are absolutely essential, because if you just keep testing for very long cycles, then something that might have worked if you tested it like a month ago might already not work anymore today because of competition, right? So in tactical terms, how can you increase your velocity then? So what I recommend is to launch a minimum viable product instead of complete perfect end products. So don't wait for something to be absolutely perfect. Just if you can answer the question of, is this good enough to convert customers? With yes, I would say you can test it out. And you might not get the perfect end result yet that you're after, but if it's a minimum viable product and it's sufficient to convert some people, then you will see that back in your feedback. And then once you get good feedback from it, you can always iterate on your current website or your current ads or whatever you're testing out, and you can build further on it to make it perfect. So especially with an e-commerce store, what I recommend to do is have, for example, weekly feedback cycle, just as a rule in your company, where you tell yourself that every week you need to test something out and you need to get feedback on it over this week. And by next week, you should have a conclusion on that test and you can test something new out for the coming week. And then something very important when it comes to those tests is that you also track everything to the teeth. So if you run a test and you don't really have the numbers, you don't have a sheet where you track the numbers, you don't know if the test was accurate, then you don't know if the test was actually successful or not, because how will you know? Like, you need numbers to base your conclusion on. If it's just your gut feeling, and you have been monitoring, of course, like how many sales came through and the ROAS, but if you don't report all the underlying metrics of your test, then you will not know if it was actually a successful test. So also something that helps is to have certain automations in place. So let's say for a product page, you need to build everything from scratch every time, then that's definitely going to slow you down, right? So make sure to have certain templates where possible, just to increase your velocity as much as possible and give you a head start basically every time you want to test out something new. So, and I'm not saying to be reckless here and to just test as much as possible very quickly and don't finish products, not at all. It's about being fast, but also about being focused. So probably you just need to sit down and focus more. But at the end of the day, speed of execution does beat perfect execution. So I know this might not have been the advice that you wanted. You basically have to just work more diligently, test more, implement more every week. You will see faster results. So good luck with the implementation. If you have any questions, drop a comment below. Also, there's a link below in the description talking a bit about what we do for e-com store owners to grow their sales. I don't care if you click it or not. I just hope you got value out of this video and you just start implementing things faster. But just letting you know, there's a link there, so feel free to check it out. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you.